Let's start with our commissioner, the one and only Siebert Frog. Congratulations on your win this week, Commish.
Thank you. I'm going to get to my win, but first I do have to address something that happened on the podcast last week. And, I'd like to formally go on the record. Our host, FCC Rebel Scum, has a long and troubling history of
Well, it's week 3 of the fantasy football season. We're the AGS podcast. Rebel Scum here with the pod squad tonight. We're going to recap week 3 in fantasy football for the greatest fantasy football league in the world in just a couple of minutes. But first, let me introduce the fellas. Let's start with our commissioner, the one and only Siebert Frog. Congratulations on your win this week, Commish.
Thank you. I'm going to get to my win, but first I do have to address something that happened on the podcast last week. And, I'd like to formally go on the record. Our host, FCC Rebel Scum, has a long and troubling history of trampling my First Amendment rights. The Frog has now been censored twice in just 2 seasons. And I proudly stand with my fellow host and free speech warrior, Jimmy Kimmel, in our ongoing fight against the kind of fascism currently being peddled by FCC scum. And, getting into the fantasy part in fantasy news, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So shout out to the Curse, another epic clash. It's always a pleasure battling with you, sir. Oops, man, nice try, Oops. You tried handing Curse Cortland Sutton just hours before our game. Fortunately, his 23 points stayed on the bench. That would have flipped the results of the game. And finally, congratulations to former AGS member, one of the founding fathers of AGS, James Bryant of FU Pay Me, and his wife Norma, on the arrival of their son and my godson, born Wednesday, Legend Bryant.
Congratulations. FU Pay Me. The FCC may or may not come down on this segment. We shall see what the commission decides on that. Thank you.
There's a reason that I'm dressed the way I am. You might be able to shut down my voice, but you can't unless you're gonna blur me all night. I'm still gonna make a statement tonight, scum.
All right, man. It's fucking fashionable. It looks great on you too, man. Quan, welcome back. Another week, another victory for you. For the all praise is due to the sun god.
Once again, sun god comes through, brings me a victory on a Monday night. Always believe in him, but this is a sad 3-0. This is not a happy 3-0 for the Quan. Another week, another star player gone. Probably my most coveted player is down indefinitely in CD Lamb. So week 1, we lose Kittle for 6 weeks. Week 2, we lose Burrow forever. And week 3, now CD's out for 3 to 5. And we are still pushing on, though. Love, respect, community, and $1 too.
I'm not used to this Eeyore Quan, this woe-is me Quan for 3 weeks in a row. It's funny, Quan, you came over here and you had to replace all the tires on the Tesla, and now your Lamborghini's busted a tire. So this is theme going on in the family right now.
I think it has something to do with the lack of GOAT background. That thing disappeared, and all we get are these injuries and a sad Quan.
Tough times.
Hey, I know a couple teams in the league that would love to be a sad 0-3, sad at 3-0, because they are a very sad 0-3.
Well, we'll recap the games shortly here. Let's bring on the defending champ, NJC. Took a tough one to your boy
by any orifice available.
Did you have to ask Papa to turn your microphone on?
Anyways,
Papa,
no, man,
Papa, it's over. The game's over, Papa. Leave me alone.
Dude, he's lucky, man. I mean, to put up 57 points just between your kicker and your defense, and then AJ Brown decides he wants to wake up after 2 no-shows. It's any given Sunday. So my team sputtered as well. I can't say it's 100% the counselor, Saquon and Chase Brown decided they wanted to go to San Diego for their own late draft party. I think they got, they were late to the game. So, the week I find a tight end, everybody else decides to take a week off. So we'll see. Good win, counselor.
Papa smacked him up so much he went straight into his game recap. He forgot it was just intros.
Yeah, right.
Damn.
Over.
That's all I got.
Just over with.
And you really brought the energy. You got us hyped for your namesake segment, NJC's top 3. So thanks for getting us fired up as we roll into this at the top of the show to kind of lay the bedrock for the rest of this motherfucker. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, NJC's very sad top 3. Number 3, Frog starting 3-0 for the first time in a coon's age. 5+ years, I think.
Before my daughters were born.
Jeez, I didn't mean
Well,
for
before
that.
It's been a while.
But shout out for a good start to the season, Coop. The team is looking a little dangerous. Number 2, Sugan D's come back with send who didn't come in Awumi to 0-3. And number 1,
have you noticed? Have you noticed Awumi changed his logo?
Yeah, I thought it was. Did he put his face on there? Is that what that is?
It's a sad Cam Ward. His quarterback and his fantasy franchise owner are both 0-3.
Mm. Well, that's what happens when you make shady moves before the night we decided to drop our players. And number 1, I gave it away in my intro/game recap. P. Ruth scoring 57 points in his kicker spot and special team spot, combined with A.J. Brown's 21 points to beat projections by 30 points and defeating NJC, sending me to 2-1 in the conference that I am currently in. So, yeah, good job to the winners. I feel you for the losers. I feel you, Nick.
I don't know. I feel like that's a bias number 1. Papa, you beat me, but I will give you props as number 1 on top 3 this week.
Man, you know what? You got into the top 3. Shut up and take it. Pause.
Yeah, how about no shout out to Penthouse Pimps, the highest score of the week, 153 points. Not impressive enough for the NJC's top 3.
I will say, as an asterisk, that definitely gets an honorable mention because NJC's top 3 was written before Monday Night Football.
That's true. It's tough, man, with these crazy Monday night games and recording the same night.
That's a good point. And nice caveat there, NJC, because Montgomery with 30.5, I think he had like a 70+ yard touchdown run, right? So he racked.
It wasn't a touchdown run. It was 70 yards. So
longest run of the season.
I think watching Monday Night Football tonight is a perfect visual illustration of my match against the counselor this week. Lamar Jackson frustrated, angry almost every play, barely squeezing out points, and then just the other team just doing things that, flea flickers, just, both of the running backs putting up 20 burgers. I mean, that's kind of how my week went.
Did you allow yourself to imagine pulling it off tonight? Did you think that there was any chance for a Monday Night Miracle? Anything Lamar could have done?
I had hope in the pregame when they were giving all the stats of his record on Monday night, 7-2, how many touchdowns, no interceptions. And I'm like, well, if Derrick Henry has a repeat showing of next week and Lamar decides to put his first 50 burger up for the week, for the season, that's the only way it could happen, obviously, because I only had one person going. But Derrick Henry got a touchdown in the first, 15
3 minutes of the game.
3 minutes. So those hopes went out, and I started looking at some games on my phone.
Yeah, Lamar put in work though.
He did, man. Points. I mean, Lamar made my loss, respectable. because
Very
I was in the
respectable.
70s. I was in the 70s pregame and ended, in the close to 110. So thanks, Lamar.
That's like almost 32. That's basically 32 times more points scored than my quarterback did this week. And I would have loved to have those 35 points. But that's basically 32 times more points scored than my quarterback did this week. And I would have loved to have those 35 points. But
So, DC,
yeah.
I'm curious, man. How do you feel about Chase Brown moving forward? Do you feel like he's still a liable starter for you, or are you worried, or you think it'll turn around, like he'll be just fine?
I mean, that's a good question. I think that there are currently not really any dependable starters on the Cincinnati Bengals. At this point, you have to hope that they make a trade for some type of vet or somebody who can see the rest of the season through, because nobody expected Browning to be carrying the season, get week 3. So hoping, that something changes, but looking on the waiver wire, looking at, what I'd have to give up to get a running back, you might as well. It's a similar boat to injuries, right? Like you're stuck. Anything that you would trade for the price is going to be too expensive. And then the minute you make a trade, that person decides to go off or whatever. So I don't know, man. It's still early in the season. It's good to have 2 wins in the actual conference that hopefully that might end up being saving towards the end of the season. But we just got to buckle up for the ride and see what's going on.
Buckle up.
I got a couple more notes for your matchup with T. Ruth, if you guys don't mind. It was a little bit of what Quan's going through. T. Ruth has the breakout 124.5 points to get the victory, but loses his starting running back, first round pick James Conner for the year. On the plus side, he did have the foresight to roster Trey Benson as the handcuff, so he can slide him in there. NJC, like what was just mentioned, Lamar had a big game. You had a breakout game for your rookie wide receiver, Luther Burden III, 100 yards, touchdown, 19.5 points. So that's something bright to look forward to. What about Jordan Love, man? You still shopping him? 12 points, not very impressive this week.
Hey, man, at this point, every roster spot is valuable. So there may be some changes in the upcoming future. So
It's matchup based, right? I mean, the Browns were a tough matchup there. And Burden, by the way, your rookie wide receiver gets the Raiders next week. So,
So here's the thing. I think this week was an overcorrection on many levels. I think it also was one of those weeks in football where it's just weird. Things, injuries, just weird, So yes, I am grateful. Thank you for that note, Coop. I am grateful for the a possibility of a future receiver. We definitely have to proceed with caution as to, usage and what his consistency is and, going forward. But yeah, it's good to have somebody who could put up those points on a contract for a couple of years. So I am grateful for that. So there is a little bit of a silver lining.
Yeah, he's got a good matchup. You'll be all right. Chase Brown, though, that Cincinnati Bengals offense whispers that they might trade for a QB, but you really think that's going to move the needle for the team and they make a move like that?
I mean, I use the example of a Geno Smith, a Sam Darnold, someone who usually preseason is close to the rank 20 as a quarterback, but can give, 15 to 17 points to a receiver in fantasy. So I think someone who's a veteran who can jump into an offense, I think it's definitely a better prospect than what they currently have. So they definitely have to trade for somebody. So we'll see.
Go for it.
I don't know. I definitely don't think. I think like a Carson Wentz, like you see how Carson Wentz went out and performed this week. I think someone of that, tenure would be someone to come in, someone you have to pay too much. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
I got another question, man. This one hits home with the LA Rams fans. Big performer for T. Ruth, AJ Brown at his breakout game, 21 points. Saquon, man, what was that? We talked about Chase Brown and the impact Joe Burrow may have had, but for those that were watching the game, Quan, I know you were watching the game. He had the early proclamation of how great it is to be a Rams fan, and then they blow it. They blow the game to the Eagles. But what was the deal with Saquon, man? 6 points only. I can't remember the last time he had such a low output.
Yeah, I was reading some articles on it, and they specifically intended to shut down Saquon. That was the point of the whole defensive strategy. So
the Rams have the number one run defense in the league right now.
No, I mean the Rams are no joke, man.
Just give a little bit of credit to the Rams front line is good. Their secondary is questionable. I think they got some players that are actually playing beyond their potential in the secondary. Their secondary sucks, but the Rams have them playing to their full potential, which makes them somewhat good. Yeah. But the Saquon destroyed us last season. Destroyed us. So I knew that they were going to hone in on stopping the run, especially with those most of those guys were rookies last year. And defensive rookie of the year. Coming back on their second year, they were ready to not have that this year.
It's never good when your elite talent underperforms, but it's obviously inevitable throughout the season. I'd rather sputtering early in the season and then gain momentum towards the end. So there's definitely enough time in the season for teams to actually get right. And hopefully there's enough time, in our trade deadline and in the season for me to get right. So we'll see.
Dude, I think the tush push is this is the last season. They're seeing the offsides. I mean, there was like 3 times
they didn't see it. They didn't see it Sunday for some reason.
They didn't call it.
Big. They didn't call it. Yeah,
but it was. Credit to Eddie Reed for figuring that out. I had never seen that until Andy Reid put it out there and the videos start coming online. Now I'm looking for it every play and seeing it that they're jumping way off sides and no calls. So,
well, it definitely destroys Saquon's red zone value. There's 2 things that I fear. I fear within the 10-yard line for the Baltimore Ravens, and I fear within the 5-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles, because we know that both of those, we know what's going to happen. We know that Derrick Henry is going to get the ball, and we know that Jalen Hurts is going to do a touch push. So,
speaking of Jalen Hurts, they may have shut down Saquon, but Pimps and Jalen Hurts went off. Pimps, I want to give shout out to Pimps, who got honorary mention on the NJC top 3, but I'll give you number 1 this week. Pimps, 153.5 points. Pimps bathed in the Vuthie juice this weekend. He led by Jalen Hurts, 4 touchdowns and 37 points. David Montgomery, I didn't even make the notes, man. 30.5 points, the longest run of the season. Rome Odunze, number 2 receiver in fantasy football, continuing to put up points. Just solid performance across the board. I think double digits by everyone except Breece Hall. Vussy still in contention for back-to-back last place finishes. If you're listening, Vussy, I missed you this weekend, man. I was in Paradise in your neighborhood at Terranea. Would have been great to hang out with you by the pool. Hit me up, man, when you come out of your self-pity hibernation.
Hey, shout out to the Pimps for not only putting up the high score of the week, but the highest score of the season so far, 153.5. Couldn't get in the NJC top 3. NJC. Wow. I might be changing your music this week too, man. You came in kind of sad on that one.
I know him. Papa had to be number 1.
Man. Great win though for the Pimps. He definitely needed that. Gets him in the win column, and maybe a little bit of momentum here. We'll see. The Breece Hall situation doesn't appear to be improving, and neither does the Braylon Allen situation. So, a little bit of a hole there to fill.
Oh God, it's so good.
You know, it's interesting having CJ Stroud on the bench. There's these memes going around. There was this moment, I think it was early last season, where CJ Stroud came up and kind of sunned Caleb Williams. It was like, don't worry, man, there's better times ahead. And just here's some advice on how to be an NFL quarterback. And Caleb has thrown for more yards, more touchdowns, and less interceptions than CJ Stroud ever since that interaction took place.
Yeah, that is wild because he hasn't been good for like over a season. Well, not season and a half quite yet, but it's been a long ass time. What happened to those Texans? It didn't really help. Well, I mean, Rudy in the end fell a little bit short, just pivoting to the next game of the week, bringing a Quan in on this. Nico Collins had 21 points despite CJ Stroud not being able to bring his team a win. Just fell short though. It looked into the fourth quarter. There was a half-point lead, and I had some 0.5 memes and situations ready to rock here. You know, like everyone deserves a good 0.5 loss, you know. But once again, pulled it out. Well done, Quan. The Mopey Quan, because as you said earlier, last week and earlier before the recording, it didn't come without a cost.
Oh, shucks. I'm just a 3-0 winner.
Oops.
Hey, look, not gonna lie, going into the second half of the games on Sunday, I was pretty confident I was gonna get the win. Had CeeDee Lamb, and I think I was only down by, and he was pretty much almost done. And CeeDee Lamb against who are they playing? Some terrible defense, and he was out very early, and it was really scary because it looked like his ankle was broke off his foot at first. It was like bent back the wrong way. I was like, oh, that's it. That's another one down. But luckily,
was that a hip drop? Was it hip drop tackle?
Nah, it wasn't a hip drop in the back. Nah,
just random.
Yeah. But luckily it's just a bad high ankle sprain. Usually that's like 3-4 weeks tops, so it's not that bad. But anyhow, back to going into that Monday night, being down 14, and he has Laporta, and I have a kicker, and I have Loop and Amon-Ra. It was looking. I mean, it was. I was still favored, but it was looking kind of bleak. But man. Dude, I honestly think that the Amon-Ra Jared Goff connection is the best in the league. Those two, I feel like they're so in sync that they can pretty much run plays with their eyes closed.
Did we just time travel into last week? I heard this exact same thing last week.
Amon-Ra and Goff just kind of looked like, man, they're just, when they're in the red zone together, they're just fully. It's almost like they can run those plays with their eyes closed.
Last week.
It's deja vu, right?
Yeah. So
you're right.
That connection was, I mean, well, they did it again this week. So sorry, how to bring it back. But anyhow, yeah, Amon-Ra came through, got me the clutch win. Great game. Good job to Rudy. Yeah, sad 3-0. It's a tough one. Feel good, swept the division. This is like, I think, my third or fourth year in a row sweeping the division, but it always feels good. So it's good to have this 3-0 cushion going into some tougher matchups without my star players. So I definitely needed this 3-0 start.
And
hey, you know, Quan, what feels better than sweeping your division 3-0 is winning some Super Bowls, man. But, you know, I see that you're a little sad over there, so I'm going to cheer you up, man. Jonathan Taylor, RB1,
got to talk
averaging
about
25 points a game and running more receiving routes than he ever has before, man. Jonathan Taylor, the biggest output performer on a crazy Indianapolis Colts offense.
Yeah,
really the reason that you won this week. Truly the reason. I mean, I know Amon-Ra was the last player, but I mean, JT did it for you.
100%. You know what? I picked up Danny Dimes off the waiver wire. You know, I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. I mean, he didn't have a big old game this week, but from what I'm seeing, he's looking pretty. He's looking like he has a high floor. Definitely.
It's funny that you picked him up because that was the first quarterback Scum mentioned last week. He's like, "You picking up Danny Dimes? You guys don't know who I'm picking up." Like,
We knew exactly who you were picking up.
None of you said
he
Drake
fits your
May.
mold.
None of you said Drake May, but
Drake May was
Nah.
said too. We said all the Mayo quarterbacks.
The Mayos, but we did say that you have a love of mayonnaise in your life. You know, can't trust a black
you don't
quarterback.
listen
Did
to
you
the
say
pod,
that too?
man.
You don't listen to the podcast. You don't run back through this and listen to your own.
You can't
silky voice?
You can't tell us what was said when you don't listen, man. We're listeners.
no. Dude, I can't. It's hard for me to catch up, man. It's hard for me. I put the pod on last week, was watching it, was loving it for about 5 minutes, and then my daughter's running to the room, and it's got to come off. So it's hard for me to get time.
You got a Tesla. You got the fancy cars, man. Can't you just run in the background while you drive, while you're on the road? Or,
that time
you know.
while I'm driving is actually critical time for me to do fantasy research for the following week. So it's critical. And so it's the only time I really get to do it. So trying to listen to the pod just now, what I used to do before we started recording is just let it play in my ears while I'm at work or something like that. But since we're now recording, you can't really do that. And you do so much
YouTube and just listen to the audio.
I could do that, but I think that all the edits that Nick does and puts in, I mean, it's worth seeing what he actually does. It's much more enjoyable to see the visuals that go along with it.
But if you're not watching it nor listening, then you see nothing.
and then you repeat the same thing you say the week before and forget you already said it.
Well, every time Amon-Ra connects with Jared Goff, you might just get it week to week to week, fellas. So get used to it.
All right, man. Damn.
Well, before we jump off of this game, man, I just want to give Rudy some love. Started off 2-0, took Quan all the way to the final game on Monday night. Biggest game of the season for Kyron Williams. NJC, who's been, proud of him, patting himself on the back for cutting him. He might be missing him a little bit this week, especially after what his running backs did this week. 18 points, 100 yards of offense, a touchdown, dominating all the facets of the run game for the Rams, who almost beat the defending Super Bowl champs. Nick, you called this one out right at the beginning. Nico Collins, 100 yards and a touchdown. Christian Kirk was back, and that kind of helped open things up for Nico Collins.
Yep. Good summary.
Yeah, that was an excellent summary. And we can just pivot right into my game now, because there's a little bit of butterfly effect, not just for me in this particular week.
Oh, it keeps flapping.
But also NJC in the decision you made to keep Drake London over Kyron Williams. But yeah, let's get into Rebel Scum's game. First of all, shout out to Oops Upside Your Head for a wonderful win, man. Put together a balanced attack with Christian McCaffrey and Devontae Adams, and then Caleb Williams had his coming out party for 2025. Did a dance on my grave to really put it out of commission, but I was dead in the water before that game even started because I got honey-dicked by the Penix. And you know what? Gamblers lost money on this. I lost this week really because of that. However, he wouldn't have ever been starting if Jaden Daniels hadn't been hurt. So I can't wait. If I could have dropped him during the game and just taken the loss I was going to get anyways, I would have. I don't want anything to do with the Atlanta Falcons passing attack. So you know what that means for Kyle Pitts. Just get out of my face. I'm tired of all of this. Terrible stuff, man. But Frogs, if you want to say anything negative before I actually get into my silver lining, I'd appreciate the negativity first. And then
negativity. There is silver lining. Negativity. Yeah. Let's see, man. I'll go. Atlanta Falcons. Not only the quarterback and receiving situation, but the kicker. That was interesting. I'm surprised this didn't make your top three. NJC Scums Falcons, Penix and Romo combo combined for a grand total of 0 points.
And
2 plus a -2 came out to
And you
0.
picked him up that morning.
that morning, because I'm like, oh, he's playing the Panthers. They'll have way more scoring they'll have way more scoring opportunities than the Cardinals will against the Niners. And he replaced the guy that couldn't make anything. He hit 2. He was 2 for 2 last week. God damn.
Young Hope
You should have picked up McPherson because Jamon picked up McPherson that morning.
Was
Young
Young
Hope
Ho
revenge game.
Whoa.
He wasn't 0 points bad. He wasn't -2 points bad.
That's true.
So bad. The absolute worst.
Real quick. Sorry, Quan, go ahead.
I said I feel like Young Ho will be back. You know, the Young Hoes always do make a comeback.
I have a Young Ho point as well. Real quick, I just want to, since you asked for the bad news, butterfly effect update. Bo Nix 16 points, Jalen Warren 10.5 points, Javonte Williams 9.5 points this week. You mentioned Young Ho, and it has something to do with this game because a lot of people speculated. Thanks to Simone Biles being around the Chicago Bears, she brought her teammate Suni Lee to the game. That's the Young Ho I was referring to. Caleb Williams met her before the game and had the game of his life. Suni Lee is a little baddie. She should be added to the hall pass conversation.
The spank bank department. That's what I call that. That's my hall pass. So you know what? Butterfly effect. Bo Nix wouldn't have helped me win this week anyways. If I would have swapped him out for Michael Penix, I would have got 14 points. And my silver lining was that my running backs actually for the first time this season outscored both of the other running backs combined. And so I'm feeling kind of good about that. And I see opportunities. I see that this season, I think the flux that we're seeing is kind of a transitioning in the NFL. There's aging stars, there's new stars coming in, there's new coordinators. There's a lot of new stuff going on. So there's opportunities to pick up some wins here in the future. Hopefully Jaden Daniels gets healthy, and we'll see.
Well, let's get into the details if you don't mind, man. Just because I was impressed by that too, man. Cam Scatabo, not only the stats which I have, but the energy, man. Like the dude's playing like Mike Alstott. Like they said, it looks like he's trying to speed up the CTE process, the way he runs with his head down. There was an interview with the head coach Dayball, and he couldn't get it through his answer because Scatabo's in the locker room just screaming his head off. He's bringing a lot of energy there. I think I sent the video where he grabbed Russell Wilson by the neck. He's got a lot of energy, man. But stats wise, 22 points. Tyrone Tracy's out with an injury that opens up snaps for him. 120 total yards, 6 receptions, and a touchdown. You mentioned your other back, Jordan Mason, over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's on the heels of Aaron Jones going down to injury. So everything that you hope for, at least with the running back position, is coming to fruition.
Yeah, thank you for that. I think Jordan Addison is going to return here this coming week. I think week 4, week 5, coming up in the next week or so. So again, if I could, the receivers are doing pretty good. George Pickens is now going to get some extra targets here with CeeDee Lamb out. You never know. So I don't wish for guys to get injured except for my running backs that were playing behind the starters. And other than that, hopefully that kind of works out there. So tough loss there. I thought I had an opportunity, go 2-1 in the division, but now, oops, baby's tied for first place with the defending champ.
Hey, my shirt says it all.
Go on, oops. Go do your thing. I'll see you again. I think week 13 or something like that.
I got a
14,
oops,
maybe.
a couple of oops notes, man. Omarion Hampton taking sole possession of the backfield. Najee Harris went down with an Achilles. Oops, I think benched him this week because he just was underwhelmed with his performance the first 2 weeks. So he's potentially earning a spot in the starting lineup. And Quan, you got to give us some background here, man. What was the deal with the Cortland Sutton trade? I get it. There's been rumblings about Tuden taking over starting running back in Jacksonville. He did score a touchdown, but I think that was it for his points this week. Oops started him. This was a weird one, man, because when we do trades, it's usually I get a text message, maybe a group chat where it's like, this is the trade. Yes, I approve it. And then we go do it. This was old school. I think Oops sent this trade request to the Curse via website because it popped up in my transaction inbox on CBS. It's like, is that? I had to. I thought it was like spam. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, I had to. I was the one who initiated the conversation with them. I was like, is this a real trade? And they're like, yeah, it's approved. So Oops sent this trade to Curse through the website. One of those old fashioned, hey, I'd like to trade this player for your player. Are you in? And Curse approved it, and it became official. Any insight, any thoughts on?
I haven't talked to him at all, so I can only speculate that Oops is he is quick to pull the trigger on whatever, I don't know. Cortland Sutherland had one bad game. I mean, look, he had 22 points the following game, but I think maybe he was feeling some type of way about Omarion Hampton's underwhelming performances and feeling like he needed something he read somewhere had him believing in Tootin.
Well, he started Tootin over Hampton this week, and Cortland Sutherland had a hell of a game.
Traded for him and started him like he was a bona fide number one.
He heard some news that no one else heard.
Started him like he was going to get all the carries. I don't know. That seemed a little one-sided to me. It seems like the Curse strikes again, taking advantage of some early.
That's the thing. The trade was sent to him through the site, so Curse didn't even ask for it.
I think Curse had been sending him trades through the sites and messages. He had told me that Curse had been sending him trade offers through the site, so I think they were going back and forth probably. So that wasn't like the first move.
And this is exactly why we wanted the insider information that only the Quan has.
So he told me, but he didn't tell me anything about what he was trading or anything like that. But whatever. I think if it was any player that he that he had trade value, it was him. I feel like he could have got more than Tootin, but who knows, man? I mean, him and Tootin may take over the backfield towards the latter part of the season, man. They probably will stay in a split, but he'll start scoring double digits maybe, and it could work out. But now with Hampton owning that backfield, he doesn't need Tootin. He really needs Sutton in the flex. Dude, I went to that game.
Let's talk about
Sutton is huge. He is huge.
Okay.
I saw him. That dude looks like a head taller than the rest of his competition. For sure.
My head or your head? Because there's a difference.
Hey, huge and head in the same sentence. Pause.
No, that dude is big, man.
Gay. All right.
Well, as in tall.
You mean not as in long and girthy? Okay,
yeah.
Thanks.
He is just so big. It was so impressive to see in person. I was sitting in the 100 section. He just was so big and large and black and oily and sweaty.
He can just Sutton down on me. Let's talk about Frog's victory over the Curse. I found this. Congratulations, Frog, 3-0.
3-0.
Speaking
striking
of
fear.
Striking fear in the hearts of AGS. I think it's interesting that Cortland Sutton was benched, and I'm not questioning the Curse's coaching judgment. He's a 3-time champ. Who am I to say anything as a 0-time champ? But backup quarterback for the Bengals, and you start both the wide receivers. I know the matchup wasn't even that great. Anyways, I mean, I don't know. Fuck it, but it worked out to your benefit because that would have been a difference maker.
Yeah, I talked to Curse after the game, and he said he actually had Sutton in. And, it's interesting the way we described the trade. You would think that maybe the Curse won it at least in the current moment, and he didn't have the balls like Oops did to put him in the starting lineup. He said he was in there, but he decided the last minute to bench him and came back to bite him in the ass. I mean, that was the key to this week's victory. The Burrow injury, the butterfly effect, it impacted the Bengals receiving corps. Those starters only had a total of 8 points. Sutton and Chris Olave on the bench with 36 points total. But I'll talk about my team, man, and my receiver corps. Pretty sure we're ranked number 1 right now in AGS. Neighbors, the Chiefs shut him down. But thanks to my gift from Voodoo, Garrett Wilson stepped up. Puka Nacua balled again. I think he's currently number 1 in AGS. They combined for over 40 points. This worried me a little bit in week 3, but he scored a touchdown late in the game, helping me to secure the victory. He's been salvaging my RB2 spot since Daquan so graciously gave me the gift of Travis Etienne. And I'm sure you want Tootin to take over, so you can put Etienne to rest. He's averaging 14.5 points so far, and he's really holding down the spot while my rookies get acclimated to the league. Quinshon Judkins in particular looked impressive this weekend. 95% of the Browns carries, 95 yards, got his first career touchdown. And even Trevion, the points aren't there yet, but he did lead the Patriots in snaps, carries, routes ran. Ramondre, you can always count on him to fumble the ball, and he did this week. So we might see a little bit of Trev moving forward. And, we might see one of the rookie running backs move back into the starting rotation soon. The Frogs have a new kicker acquired on waivers, Spencer Schrader. He chipped in with double digits. He happens to be the number 1 kicker in AGS. And Curse, always a worthy opponent, man. 29 points from Josh Allen Thursday night. That actually, it was funny because I talked to Curse and I'm like, I'll take it. Josh Allen could do much worse than 29 points. So, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. And he, on the flip side, was, he thought Josh Allen, he was happy he got the 29 because I guess he was having a slow start to the game. That's about it, man. That's about it for my game. 3-0. It has been a while, and I got you up next, Scum. So let's do this thing, man. You've had my number for I think a few years. So let's see how this week goes.
Yeah, well, your team has never looked this good in previous years. Solid running back with the rookies and the wide receivers, as you mentioned. This had nothing to do with your outcome. Just curious question for your squad. Why did you decide to just keep Justin Fields rostered and not dump him and just grab somebody else? Or
I don't know. Grabbed who?
I don't know. That's I don't know if I can. No idea. No idea. Just curious. Just wondering why. No big deal. I'm just a curious fantasy football question here. Looking forward to the matchup. Sad that we can't meet up.
No, I mean, I'll answer your question if you.
Oh, okay.
You
Thank you.
There's a reason I drafted him. Those reasons played out in week 1 when he had 30 points. He had a tough matchup week 2 and got hurt. I still think there's potential there with his rushing ability. I like the coaching staff. I like, that if I do start him, potentially there's a stack with Garrett Wilson. So, I mean, there's no – could I have picked somebody up? Yeah, but there just was no pressure to do that this week. I had an open spot on my bench, and we'll see. We'll see what he looks like when he comes back. I'm not there's no need right now to pull the cord. I think my bye week start in week 5. I've been lucky enough not to get bit by the injury bug yet. So there's no guarantee he'll be on my roster for the rest of the season, but I didn't feel the need to cut ties right now.
Word. Well said. Thank you for that breakdown. I appreciate that. And once again, congratulations on the win. Looking forward to seeing, well, I was going to say, unfortunately, we won't link up next week. It's always fun to watch you either win or lose because you put so much emotion into it, and you really kind of make the situation hype. But enjoy the festivities you'll get into next weekend. Let's get into the Sugandis. This was the toilet bowl. This was a big one, and it looked bad for Sugandis. It looked like he was not going to win this game going into the final stretch here, but he pulled it out. You mentioned Jalen Warren putting together another solid game. Again, I'm not wishing for anybody to get hurt. I'm not. at all. But it's really hard to watch Judkins get 15.5 and watch Hampton get 13 and then just be like, I don't think fucking Caleb Johnson's going to play football this season.
Did he get benched this week?
I think he got benched 2 weeks ago. He's not. He fumbled out of bounds in the end zone, and then Mike Tomlin was like, "Hey, man, just don't worry about playing football for a little bit." Yeah. So, I mean, RJ Harvey with 2.5, but maybe better days there. Sugandiz was not seeming too happy last week, but he got a pretty solid win here, and it's always important to beat Owumi, to beat these guys that purposely seem to not want to win games. You don't want to lose to these guys.
Yeah, I was interested to see how the draft day trade would play out. Right, he traded away Alvin Kamara and DJ Moore for RJ Harvey. Couldn't even start RJ Harvey because of his start to the season, and in the end, it didn't matter. He got the W anyway.
Wait, can you stop right there? Because the way you frame that really just highlights just the insanity of the situation. Like the trade itself, the need to jump up and grab this guy, like it's crazy.
Well, it was a hype. It was the hype train. It was the rookie running back hype train. Everybody jumped on the train, man. We talked about this right after the draft. It's a long game, longer than people think. Ashton Genty went number 1, and there's a lot of people now thinking that might not be as strong of a spot as we thought at the draft. The Raiders' offensive line looking shaky. Ashton Genty not looking as explosive. So you just don't know, man. I think Quinshon Judkins, even with missing the first game and a half, I think has more fantasy points than all the other rookie running backs drafted in that first round. Scatabo and the kid from Washington, they're up there, but they weren't first round picks. Sugan, led by a tight end that I'm very familiar with, Jake Ferguson and Seahawks defense. Ferguson has had 26 targets in the last 2 weeks. He is Dak's check down merchant. And, he may even get more work now with CD Lamb out for potentially a month. The Womouth, James Cook played well for him. But like you said, man, not only playing just for fun, but the fact that he changed he's not even in last place. And he changed his logo to this sad looking Cam Ward with 0-3 next to it. Owumi, if you love it, if you like it, I love it, brother.
He's not in last place because of points, is what you're saying. Is that what it is? He's just scored
more
points.
I'm saying like Vussy was forced to change his logo. Owumi's just doing it because he sucks.
League. Okay. That is, the self-awareness is amazing. And I mean, the guy can poke fun of himself like none of us can. I mean, nobody's doing that shit. That's amazing. And the season, it's 3 weeks in, and he's.
Well, to be fair, I'm a master meme maker, if I say so myself, man. And we've been going back and forth, and I'm like, you have no quarterback. You went into the season with Cam Ward and Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson is still on your roster. Daniel Jones has ripped that job away from him. Anthony Richardson, you'll never be the quarterback in Indianapolis. He's still on Awumi's roster. He picks up Aaron Rodgers. I mean, look who Quan was able to get just last week. Did you even use? Yeah, you used waivers, but you got Daniel Jones and Drake May, who scored more points than all 3 of Awumi's quarterbacks, damn near combined. So, we have this, he's my cousin, man. We have this back and forth. I'm like, you suck. And he's like, no, I'm playing the long game. It's poker. I'm a poker player. I was like, well, you can't bluff the entire season. So I sent him that meme, and he was like, oh, I love that picture so much. I'm going to make it my new logo. So, he goes with the flow, man. He can laugh almost everything off.
Man.
Damn, I thought he made that one himself, man. Well done, Frog. That's another stellar meme from the meme god. Juan, you had something to say about it?
I mean, normally in a season like this for Wumi is when he starts selling off assets to build picks.
Oh, I
But
tried.
I
fucking tried already.
I'm looking. He doesn't have much to sell.
Yeah, you're right. But
Yeah.
try again, man. Try again. You never know, man. Sweeten the pot. All right, let's preview the games next week. We need some fucking music for game preview. We need like a special cut for the game preview, like a movie clip or something. What would be great for that? Feel free to submit ideas here.
Something about Winnie the Pooh, huh, Eeyore? Because me and you are sad.
Maybe it'll just be Bill Belichick.
Cincinnati. It's nothing about the past, nothing about the future. It's right now we're preparing for Cincinnati.
Well, I was going to say it is good for the podcast that everybody on here is playing the other person.
Oh,
right?
that is
Square
good
versus square. Be a good one.
So
I usually, I'm not even gonna fucking say it. I'm not saying shit. I don't want.
I'll say that usually I'm excited about playing Quan just for the shit talking factor, but I think this year Quan and I are gonna be very humble in our matchup this year.
Really? You think so? Just quiet times? Just quiet Fred?
Humble pie.
I don't like the humble side of you guys, man. I mean,
it's
especially
too
when
early,
you two
man.
match up.
Hey, you're having a bad fantasy football week when you say to yourself, yeah, I may suck in fantasy football, but I'm winning at life. You know what I'm saying? I had one of those weeks, dude. So I'm not going into the next week.
You don't suck at fantasy football, man. You don't. That's the other thing about it.
I thank you.
But yeah, you know what?
That's like a bumper sticker for Boo, I think.
Well,
he's a champ, though. He's the champ, and it's accidental, but he's still the champ. It's not right, but it doesn't matter.
Hey, it's on the back. It's on the back of Boo's tricycle as he rides through Pals Verdes.
Tricycle. But the imagery is great, though.
Hey, Lou, is the reason why you don't ever showcase your trophy because you're juxtaposed to the accidental champion?
What?
Well, everybody else has their trophies on display.
I don't have a.
I'm just wondering why. You know,
No, my trophy is
yours off. This one.
My trophy's on full display in the house. I don't really have much of a podcast background. I'm still working on that.
Can we just talk about that situation though? Like, what
you could put like a white box over the microwave and just have your trophy.
I might buy you a green screen.
You don't need a ton of space. You only have one.
I'm in the corner of the house. Like I'm in the corner of somewhere in the house, bro. Like,
hey, you can get yourself a green screen on Amazon, and then Quan, I can edit in fucking goats, the kind from Afghanistan where they make love to men. I can put that in there. I can do all kinds of stuff in there.
Sure, that's in one of your bookmarks.
Are they Scum? Are they big and strong like Corden Sutton?
Sweaty, so well defined.
Hey, I do have. I think it's interesting that Quan is going into the next couple of weeks. He's got New Jack City, and I'm saying with you talked about the injured roster, right? So not where you want to be going into the matchup, the Super Bowl rematch. After that, you've got Vussy, which that'll give you a nice little spike, man. You know, that'll be like a blue, a little Cialis or Viagra to give you a little boost for the rest of the season. But then you roll into me, man, and I don't think in week 6 you'll be starting to get back closer to full strength, but I don't know if your whole squad will be there. Now it does speak volumes for hopefully how strong you'll be at the end of the season, but going into some pivotal matchups with a wounded roster.
Yeah. But so hopefully hopefully some of our players will still be putting up big points, but we'll see. But like I said, good thing is I'm going in 3-0, so I got a good cushion.
The next 4 games are against the Pod Squad, brother. Then you've got the Vussy in there, the Cialis pill. We'll see, man. We'll see.
We'll have to get Sugan on next week so he could break down his Vussy experience in week 4. And Scum, we'll get it on maybe when you play. Quan's a loyal member of the Rialto squad, so maybe when you guys connect that weekend will work better for us to get together out there.
Hey, who does the Vussy have next week?
He's got Sugan.
Because
That's why I was saying we should get.
No one has opted to change his name yet. Huh?
Lou, I swear you're reading my mind. I was about to say, do you guys want to make a bet on what week his name changes?
I think
week.
it could happen this week. Sugan's down for the shenanigans.
Oh yeah, it's definitely happening the week after.
Was that the tipping point for Vussy? Was it the any week is a name change? Was that the one that was like, this would never happen to anybody else?
So on our we had the luxury. Our boy Nakia is a season ticket holder to the Dodgers, and he took us to the Phillies game last week, and Quan couldn't make it. NJC was able to make it, and it was interesting. We're driving up there, and we're shooting the shit, and somehow the podcast comes up, and we start. There's this thing you can do in the Tesla, man. You can watch YouTube. We put it on. There was sound. You could hear it and see it. And we played the episode for him. He wanted to know because the conversation came up. He knows Vussy, and he was like, "What was the breaking point?" And we put it on, and I think he pointed out, man, like it was hard for him knowing Vussy to listen to those names just going through. And he was like, "Dude, he was on the show, and you guys did that right in his face, and he had to." Yeah, did he play along with it? But that had to hurt. That's what he thinks. It could be a million things, but just taking that all in after just getting a live roasting with 30 names. I don't know. He said it hurt him just listening to it.
Now that we reflect on that moment, that might have been the moment. That was it's a public flogging. That's
and Nakia was like, "You guys are vicious." He was like, "The 1 week I came on, and you guys, I made the iPad with a neck brace on." He was like, "I was just a guest host."
That's amazing picture.
You guys flamed me.
Hey, well, don't do stuff that comes to our attention. It's good.
He was like,
you might hear it again.
How did Nick get that picture?
What do you think? Start at the top. Start at the top. Yeah, well, maybe I think that was it. You put it spot on. So yeah, Sugandi's Vussy next week. T. Ruth and Penthouse Pimps. We'll see which one of them keeps riding that high scoring wave into the next week. And then Curse and Oops. Is that who's left? Oops, upside your head.
No, Oops is
who's coming in second?
Coming in second. Yeah.
Oops has Oops coming in second
Curse
next
is playing
week.
Rudy.
Ooh, okay, that's kind of spicy. How's Rudy doing? You check in on that guy.
I don't know. I would argue that he was feeling much better in the first quarter of Monday Night Football than he was in the fourth quarter of Monday Night Football.
Especially the last part of the fourth quarter, because even going into the first few minutes, it was looking, I don't know.
There was always a chance every time they got the ball.
Always.
We were like within 1 point of each other. Whichever player was going to get a pass is going to take the lead.
I'm interested to see how Truth performs this week because, he got the younger version of Penthouse Pimps this week, and now you're going with the older version. Is like, can you get it up for somebody twice his age that kind of looks the same? I don't know if he's going to be able to perform just as well. He performed great this week for the younger version.
Oh, yeah. Add attention.
The newer model is always better than the classic.
The newer models. Oh, I like how you just kind of said that with a little Bill Cosby in your voice, man. The newer models always better than the classic.
NJC, you put the word out there, man. We're having a viewing party coming up.
Yeah, man. Thursday we're gonna do Thursday night poker and Thursday night football at Casa de Citron. So
I'll be there, man. Juan, will you be showing up to face your opponent on Thursday?
Date is that?
That would be the
25th, the day after my mom's birthday.
3 days from now.
Happy birthday, NJC's mom.
Thank you.
Yeah, I should make it.
What day is this gonna preview? Well, no, I don't think. I'll just take a snippet.
Thursday is at midnight. East Coast time, 3 a.m.
So before, I'll just take a little time to wish my mom happy 81st birthday. Hey. Definitely a blessing to have you for almost 45 years. definitely a blessing to have you in Jackson's life as Nana. So just wanted to say happy birthday, love you, and wish for 81 more years.
Hey, if you guys don't mind, man, I know he was on last week, but I'll bring him back in here real quick.
Hey.
LJ, it was his 11th birthday yesterday. So we got 11-year-old. It's birthday season.
Oh, double digits at +1. What's up, LJ?
Happy birthday, LJ.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday.
man.
Thank you.
You grew up
Oh,
too
he's
quickly,
too
man.
cool for school. Now the voice is a little deeper now.
Yeah, this is cringe, man. This is cringe, man. Well, happy birthday, little Froggy. You're growing up too quickly for us.
Wait, really quick. Hold on, Frog. Hold on. Hey, LJ, really quick. If I say 6'7", do you know what that means?
Yeah.
Ah!
You gotta say it out loud so you can see it.
6, 7.
Bro, hey, I need you to be more Sigma, not Beta, okay?
I'm not Veda.
I'm just playing, man.
Shout
Love
out
you, little
middle
man.
school.
Proud of you, dude.
It's crazy how all these little kids talk the same because it's out, it's everywhere, man.
Dude, it's like I call it like this generation's version of Pig Latin, bro. Just to the next level with AI editing. Cause it's like Jax went to a birthday party this weekend and they were all like 13, 14-year-olds. And I couldn't understand what the heck they were talking about, dude. It sounds like mumble rap, bro, just in live form. It's just ridiculous.
The future is now, old man. The future is now. Well, happy birthday, 81st birthday to NJC's mom. Happy 11th birthday to Little Frog. Thank you so much for joining us in the Fantasy Football AGS podcast. This is Rebel Scum, Siebert Frog, Quan, and defending champ NJC. And we'll catch you guys next week.
Peace out.
Motherfucker! Yes, ma'am.